Well, here we are in the high. Well, here we are in the we thank you and it's the best in the land, for we know you will take me behind. So take that ball in high. We're backing you on in high. Heart is a prey protector on the waters for we expect the victory from you, name high. We're loyal to you, name high. We're regularly right, name high. So much no lost explore, and you lead them so far, they will want to play us anymore. So sing that ball in high. We're backing you all in high. Heart is a brave protector on the life, for we expect the victory from you, name high.
The Isabella, Nahma, and St. Jakes area is a great place to live. Such families as the Gua family, the Levine family, and the Cameberg family live in Isabella. It wasn't hard to find someone with stories from the past and thoughts about the future. Nahma was a lumber town in the early years. When the mill closed, the plant was bought by American Playground, a company that made playground equipment. Families such as the Bramers, the Ritters, the Beauchamps lived in Nahma. As years went by, Nahma has become a resort area where family and friends can enjoy some family time. The St. Jakes area had families such as the Grollos, the Pomeroys, and the Hardwicks. Now, it was common to see houses full of company for Sunday supper and family get-togethers. Hunting and fishing is a popular pastime out there. History brings back memories. Here are some stories about living and working in the area from Henry Gua, Rose Mercier, Polly Safsik, and Rosie Beauchamp.
In my little town, I grew up believing God keeps his eye on us all. And he used to lean upon me as I pledged allegiance to the wall. Lord, I recall my little town, coming home after school, flying my bike past the gates of the factories. My mom doing the laundry, hanging out shirts in the dirty breeze. And after it rains, there's a rainbow, and all of the colors are black. It's not that the colors aren't there, it's just imagination they lack. Everything's the same back in my little town.
Welcome to the town of Nahma, Michigan, located on the shores of Big Beatty Knock. Nahma has a population of 125 residents. This town was built around a large sawmill, which began operation in 1881. Many of the company buildings and a few homes were destroyed as a result of a fire in 1921. Under the supervision of Charlie Good, the town was rebuilt and the mill made operational until 1951. In the year 1951, the property was bought by Warren Miller of American Playground, and the mill was torn down. The remaining buildings were then converted into a plant which produced playground equipment. Some of the company buildings and homes are still standing to remind us of the people who first settled in this area. Herein lies the stories, memories, and plans of Nahma, past, present, and future.
On the trigger of a gun. Breathing nothing but the dead and dying back in my little town. Nothing but the dead and dying back in my little town. Nothing but the dead and dying back in my little town.
A resident of Isabella for how many years now?
Well, I lived here just about all my life, for 71 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I lived in Nahma after I got married from 1940 to 1952. Yeah, I worked at the mill from 1940 right on through until the lumber mill shut down, and I think it was 1950 or 51, not sure. Well, I worked there all them years. I drove what they call them tram bugs, hauling lumber out to the yard where they piled it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that I went as a mechanic on the trucks hauling logs. You haul logs from Grand Marais to the mill. And I was a truck mechanic there from 1947 to 51. Oh yeah.
Off the harbor right then.
In the early years of 1940, they used to have a pulp boat come in
Mm-hmm.
and haul the pulp wood. But they also had a lumber boat coming in. They used to haul the lumber by boat at least once a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how many million feet of lumber they'd put on it. It was an awful big pile of lumber. And so we'd pile it on the docks, and the boat would come in, and then they'd have derricks or cranes, whatever you want to call them, pick it up in so many tiers of lumber, and pick it up and then set it on the boat. So you didn't have to, when they first started, they used to have to handle every board. But in the latter years, they used cranes to pick it up, and they'd put in about 2,000-3,000 feet at a time and set it down.
Okay.
But the lumber boats mostly went to Sheepwreck Dimension in Escanaba. That's where most of that went.
Okay. Hey.
Well, they were older, you know. They wasn't equipped like they are today.
Oh yeah.
They were just logs. They all only hauled the logs is all.
Mm-hmm.
They were hauling the pulp. They
And
had
now
a
that-
trailer and they hauled logs.
And-
They come from the Grand Marais. See, that was the last years that they had a job.
Okay.
They hauled, from Grand Marais, they had their own fleet of trucks plus hired trucks hauling in
Mm-hmm.
logs. All the store and the hotel and the clubhouse was all going.
Now,
See, the mill workers that boarded there, they stayed in the boarding house. They had a big boarding house and a kitchen down the road toward where the hospital was. Right on the corner from, I don't know what the name of that street. It was right
right
on,
across from the Township Hall, isn't it?
it was on that corner down on Main Street. Right across from Peanut Sergeant's there.
Okay. All right.
And there, that's where the hospital was. Then the boarding house was in between that corner and the tennis court. There was a big boarding house there and a kitchen. It was the clubhouse in 1946 or 47. I think it was in 46. It burnt down and then they built a new one, the one that's there now in 47.
Okay, because I know that there was 3 around that.
The early 40s up to about 47. When the lumber camps got done up on the Nahma line with the railroad, well then they didn't have they didn't use the boarding house anymore because they were had up at camp at Grand Marais. The guys stayed up there, so they just continued that right around in I'd say 48, 49, somewhere in there.
So it was.
Oh yeah, see, I worked in the mill and then I worked in the clubhouse also at night. I worked the mill and then at night I'd work in the clubhouse, helped got the bartender in the clubhouse, until I started working on the trucks, and then I couldn't work no more in the clubhouse because I had to work at night on the trucks when they'd come in.
So.
No, they were only working 4, 5, 8-hour days. And some years when they got during the war that they got pressed for a little more time, they got more orders, and we had to work Saturday mornings, 4 hours on Saturday morning. Well, most of them did, but there's a lot of them that left town. Some of them went to the railroad on Gladstone. Some of them went to lumber companies elsewhere. You know, some went out west to a lumber company. Well, it didn't coincide with their type of business. They didn't want to sell alcohol and beer and manufacturing playground equipment. See, that didn't correspond with one another. Yeah, in the plant there now, that's where all the steam heat comes from over there.
Right. And also
in the hotel, the store, the clubhouse, the boarding house, the hospital, vice president's house, and the truck drive was all heated with steam heat from the boilers over at the planing mill there, the plant that's they converted into the plant now.
right now is it truck mechanic?
Yeah, when they bought the logging trucks, they built that garage. See, all the trucks were kept inside in a heated garage, so they didn't have no problems with them, out in the cold.
The Indian cemetery is. Well, I said, it's up on the hill at St. Jake's. Well, then after she left, I got to thinking, when we were kids, you know where the Ball Diamond is?
Yeah.
Well, there was a cemetery just beyond the Ball Diamond, going west. We kids used to walk there. And somebody said, if you walk around enough, you'll see the Indians come out of their grave. And, we kids, kids.
Right.
And some of the kids were brave, the bigger kids. They had sticks, and they'd push into the ground and they'd rattle the coffin. I said, they're going to come out and haunt you. But I forgot to tell the lady about this. This is the cemetery that she was thinking about, the original one. We just found it by accident, and then we inquired around, and they said, oh, yes, that's the first Indian cemetery. I bet I wasn't any more than 7 or 8 years old when we were out there. Well, they had the boarding house, where the pump is. Well, just on the other side of the flowing fountain was the rooming house. Then next door to it was where they did the cooking. That was where they ate, and did the cooking. But my recollection is kind of foggy. But I do know, well, later, then after the rooming house wasn't there, they had a barber shop. That's where the barber shop was, after. This was later. But they had 3 floors. They had the main floor and second floor, and the rooming house was 3 floors. And when those lumberjacks came, they were filled up. They really were. They come down in the spring, and some of them that worked at the mill stayed there. But in the spring of the year, when they all came down from the woods,
Well, I remember the old clubhouse when I first came here,
Mm-hmm.
about 61 years. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it was the old clubhouse, and that one burned down.
Mm-hmm.
And then they built this clubhouse.
Yeah.
There used to be movies on Sunday night. I remember that. We used to go down on Sunday night and watch a movie. There was a man from Gulliver that used to come over here. His name was it Birch? No. Can't remember. We used to go on movies at the clubhouse every Sunday night. And I remember I used to go down there. We'd sit on just chairs. You can imagine watching a movie in the auditorium. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was something to do on Sunday night, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there was a candy kitchen where we'd go there. Like on Sundays, I'd walk down there and get a sundae or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, there were bowling. We even had women that were down there. They had teams. I'd never bowled. But I mean, then we'd hold all our meetings down there, our Ultra Society meetings down at the clubhouse. Everything took place in that clubhouse.
Uh-huh. Pearl Warner?
Pearl Warner. Yeah, she lived on, see, I used to live in a house down this street here. There were 5 houses like this. And she used to live in the third house.
Mm-hmm.
She and what's her name? Shirley Warner.
Yeah.
Shirley Warner and Pearl. Yeah, he
Yeah.
ran the clubhouse.
Yeah,
And the library, I forgot, because I worked at the library. In fact, there's books down there in that clubhouse that are all packed in boxes that belong to the people of Nahma.
Oh, yeah?
They should be brought over here and put in this library here because they do belong to the people.
Uh-huh.
When I came here, it was 900. That's in 1933.
1933?
Every house was filled. You couldn't find a place to live. As I worked at the hotel at the time. And there were some people that were living upstairs and 2 families, one upstairs, one downstairs, down on the other end of town.
Okay. Oh, on the other end of town, like by Bramers?
Huh?
By Bramers down there?
Yeah, down that end of town. But pretty much fishing.
There was a hospital
they
in
called
here?
it fish down the other end of town.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
because they were all fishermen.
Oh, I see.
That was besides, and the plant, the mill. All the men worked in the mill, your Indians worked in the mill.
I see.
Because we had a lot of Indians over there across the river at
So,
that time. When I came here, there were a lot of Indians.
The old
They were
barns?
from the Indian church down, you know, and the biggest settlement was right here, right across the river.
Uh-huh.
As soon as you cross this bridge over here, there were houses on both sides.
On both sides?
Both sides.
Wow. I didn't think it was that big.
We had a lot of Indians that lived there. And then the rest of them lived up on, the only one, we had one Indian in town that was a Hardwick, and he lived up in the church, the house across from our church.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
The one down by the water tower.
yeah, right.
Okay.
That's where he lived. And he was the only Indian that lived in town, and it's because he was an electrician, and he worked for American Playground. I mean, Badenoch and American Playground.
I see. So,
They shopped here, they went to our school here, and they worked here. Archie Hardwick.
Archie, okay,
Archie
yeah.
Hardwick,
I
lumber
see.
and stuff like that. Yeah. He did that for American Playground too, I guess. I mean, for Badenoch too. It was a job, yep. In those days, it was a big job because, you know, they had the lumber camps, you know, to take care of, you know. Early in the morning, they have to load that train and get it ready, take all the food up to the camps. It was, you know, it was a busy store,
Right.
you know. You mean why they call it Hospitality House or
Yeah,
what? Because that's where the big shots lived.
yeah.
The superintendent.
I'm in Nahma, Michigan, talking to Rose Boshaw. Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Did you work anywhere here in town?
No, I've never. The only time I've ever worked is I worked at the rectory cleaning house for 5 different priests.
Okay.
And the last priest I worked for was Father Timok.
Okay.
And it started out with Father Frank.
Oh, you started with Father Frank, I
Yes,
see.
yeah. But other than that, Junior, I didn't do no work because I had 10 children.
Yeah.
I worked at home.
Yeah, I know. I know you had a household.
Yeah,
there, that's
so
for
I
sure.
mean, I worked, but I was just a housewife.
Yeah. Now, so you went to the Nahma school all your life?
I went to the Nahma school and I quit to get married in February of 1951,
And then, so what grade were you in when you quit?
11th grade. Well, like I said, I was married in 1951, and I remember in 1952 going to basketball games there.
Right.
Actually, it was quite a few years after that because I remember my daughter Patty. We went to, they had it open for wedding receptions and banquets and things like that. So,
Okay.
what year they would have closed? It had to be in the 60s.
Okay.
It had to be at least in the 60s because she was about, I recall, what, 16, 15, 16 then. So.
Now, were you involved with anything that was inside the clubhouse, like the candy kitchen or the
No.
or bowling or anything like that?
No,
or?
but it was sure a beautiful building.
Yeah.
I mean, it housed everything in there, you know. But the only thing I ever did in there was cheerleader. I was cheerleader for 5 years.
Okay.
And, so as far as, that's the only thing I participated in was cheerleading at the basketball games.
Right.
And sold tickets. I did sell tickets for basketball games too. But other than that, no. I didn't work in there like in the candy kitchen or anything like that.
And then, so did you and Pat live in this location, in this house, all these years?
I was born down the street, the very last house next to Merle's.
Okay.
I got married down in Detroit.
Okay.
In April 7th, down in Detroit. We moved back up here in October when the American Playground took over the town.
Okay.
And so we lived in the double house down here.
Okay.
Where Mike Netto owns it, with the red roof.
Mm-hmm.
We lived there until 1956. And then we moved here, and I've lived the name all my life. I was born here. I was born at the end of the street, and I'm still here. And I will turn 80 years old in November. So it's I come full circle, I think, Junior. Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what it
and
sounds like.
The name of high school, my son Chris graduated from this school in 1970.
Okay.
That's the last class that graduated from this school here.
Okay.
1970. But the school was already consolidated at that time. The 3 schools was already consolidated in 1970.
But they were still had the separate schools.
But they still had the separate schools. The high school was here, and then the grade school was in Cooks, and another grade school part was in Garden.
Okay.
Because Chris, like Chris and Carl and Rod and Wayne Clement and Herb Pomeroy and Pat Ranget and all them graduated at this school here.
I see.
And that was 1970. That was the worst class they ever had. Yeah, I'm not kidding you.
Uh-huh.
If anybody asks you, that was the worst class. Oh my God, Carl was horrible.
Oh.
Yes, in fact, it was a hangout for Patty Megan and Ken, Tim and Melissa. Those four I really remember. And then the younger kids would go up there and ring the bell because, you'd hear that bell and say, oh, somebody's playing on the train. Until they say somebody stole it.
Well, that's what I heard.
But it was a gathering place for Tim, the teenagers, the older kids, teenagers. And then for the younger kids, they played on it. Yeah, it was kind of like a gathering place. But those four, those four people, Tim and Patty and Tim and Melissa, those are four I do remember that hung out there a lot.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to figure out that block where the hall is, where the clubhouse used to be.
Yeah, over
Okay.
here, yeah.
Right. Okay. I know where the clubhouse was.
Mhm.
On the, what was on the side? What was on this side of the road going from the clubhouse, going from Main Street down to where the hall is now? What was on that side?
Nothing.
Okay, there was nothing there?
No, between the clubhouse and the hall,
Right.
no. That was just a big open field there.
Okay.
But on the west side of the clubhouse was the tennis court. And then when Big Baby Knock Lumber Company owned it, then there was the boarding house and the cookhouse.
Okay.
And then there was a double house right on the corner where the basketball court is down there.
Yeah.
There used to be a double house because Madeline Turek used to live in there when she got married. But in the middle was just a big field because when I was a child, circuses used to come with elephants and all that. When I was small, probably 10, 11 years old. That open field that had circuses. And then, of course, back at the clubhouse, it was a parking spot for the bar. Cars parked back there.
Now,
When I lived in, but when the town burnt back in 1921, there was houses on that street.
okay.
But that was back in 1921. I didn't see no houses on that street. In the same block with the clubhouse. No. American Playground moved up here. They bought, and they used that was their head office. They moved. American Playground in 1951-52 moved their whole business up here.
Okay.
The hotel was their office. They put all electric heat in there and everything at that time. But then the owner's son, Phil Miller, his wife did not like it up here. And so they moved half of it back to Anderson and left half of it here. The painting and that was done here because my husband, Pat, did all the painting. Painted all the playground equipment. That was his job, head painter down here.
And, because I thought the office was the brick building where Christine's gallery is.
Yeah, well, that was the office for the Beatty Knock Lumber Company.
Okay. I mean, I thought that's where American Playground had their office.
They had part of it there, but the main one was the hotel.
I see.
Yeah, because Joni Seplik used to work there too. She worked for the American Playground. That's where I went when Chris was born. It was the big Beatty Knock Lumber Company always had their own doctor. And the doctor had their own house. It was a big, big home right next to the Protestant church down there.
Okay.
It was big. I mean, you could go upstairs and go down the hall and go downstairs in the back and then 2 sets of stairs. They always had a doctor. And then right on the corner, across from the basketball court down here, right on the corner was the hospital. Had beds in there and everything for patients. But it was smack on the corner. Even yet, it shows a cement that went into the side door.
I see.
It's very close to the cream-colored house that sits here at the end of the street.
Mm-hmm.
But it was right on the corner.
Okay.
And then when the American Playground bought, well, then the doctor was here for a while because he delivered Chris. And Chris was born in 1952. So the company doctor was still here in 1952, Dr. Bruner. He was Spanish.
Oh, Spanish.
Spanish doctor, yeah. And his wife was Spanish.
Okay.
He was so loud, I'm telling you, if you went in there, everybody in the waiting room could hear everything he said, I'll tell you. But, so I know he was still here in 1952.
How was that school laid out? What was in the basement and what did they have upstairs?
The school was in the shape of a T. The front part, and then the back way. The back part was the grade school. The front part was the high school. Down in the basement was the cafeteria and the shop, the workshop. You know, the guys did their craft work down there. The back of the school went up to the 6th grade. There was a long hall, and there was classrooms off that long hall. And you got up to where it connected with the high school. You know, there was the girls' restroom, and then where the stretched across the front, there was the boys' restroom. But there was a big study hall, we call it. Back then you had study halls. You had an hour where you could do your studies and you wouldn't have to take homework home. You don't have that now. You have one class after another.
Yeah.
But there was the study hall, and there was the library, there was the superintendent's office, there was a science room, there was a home economics room. It was a very nice high school. And Grandpa Boshaw, Homer Boshaw and Grandma Boshaw was the custodians. And they did a good job. Every time, like Christmas time, he removed all the chairs out of those rooms and sanded and varnished the floors. When we come back after New Year's, that was just beautiful in there. Just beautiful. All leather furniture in the lobby when you come in, you know, and leather furniture in the men's lounge. Beautiful furniture in the ladies' lounge. It was a fabulous place. A stage with the maroon velvet drapes. You know, we used to have plays. You know, seniors would have their school plays there. Santa Claus would come, and yeah, that was a beautiful building. But see, they heated all those buildings from the Badenoch Lumber Company. They were all heated with steam.
Okay.
And so then when the American Playground bought, there was no steam coming from the lumber company anymore, so they couldn't afford to heat that big building anymore. Mm-hmm. That steam from the big Badenoch Lumber Company, it heated the store, the hotel, the yellow house that they call the hospitality house. It heated the clubhouse, it heated the boarding house, the cookhouse, and the hospital. It heated all those buildings. They were all steam heated. Before my daughter Candy died of breast cancer, you know, she was going to start writing children's stories, but she had to write a biography of herself, you know. And in that biography, she said, you know, she was talking, she said, there was no place like the Nahma Beach. And really, Junior, there was no place like the Nahma Beach. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, like nice sugar sand, you know. Just a beautiful beach. And it's sad that the American Playground sold it all in different plots, where either them or the Badenoch Lumber Company should have kept a section for the township.
Right.
And they never did. And that's sad. Because now unless the people down there let you swim on the beach, there's no beach for us here. And then the No Nahma Resorts got that, but they charge you to go back there and swim.
Yeah.
And that's not a good beach. It's not like what we have down here. But that was a big mistake that those two companies made, not saving a section for the public.
Now those certain places were heated with steam back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now as far as the other residents, were they only able to burn wood, or were they able to buy steam from the plant?
No, they didn't get steam from the plant.
Okay.
No, they burnt wood. I don't know how much they paid for a load of wood, but the Badenoch Lumber Company delivered the wood to them. You know, they'd order their loads of wood for the winter, and the Badenoch Lumber Company delivered truckloads of wood. And that was all not split, but cut up in chunks. You know. Everybody burnt wood. Just those business places that had the steam heat.
What were the hours for that clubhouse?
I think it was, it started at noon, and I don't know what, probably 12 o'clock at night, probably during the week, but weekends probably later, but I'm pretty sure they opened up at noon. And until, and probably they closed earlier at night. If they didn't have people there, they probably closed earlier, but I would say from 12 to 12.
Now, who were Pearl and Shirley Warner? Pearl and Shirley Warner.
They were they managed the clubhouse. She worked the cafeteria, he worked the bar. And he ruled the roost, because I'll tell you, us kids, you like to go sit in the lobby and they'd say, oh my God, here comes Shirley down the hall. And we'd all run out the front door, because he was an old crab, but yeah, they managed the place, the two of them.
Okay, so Shirley was in the bar and Pearl was in the candy kitchen, from what I understand.
Yes, yeah, she took care of the candy kitchen, and he tended the bar, but he made sure everything went smooth in the whole building, you know what I mean? I mean, he didn't put up with any tomfoolery in there. But she mainly stayed in the candy kitchen, sure, Pearl did. The golf courses there, in fact, when the golf course was put there was only the big shots could play golf on it. Like Acker and Alan Mercier and those, they was the only ones that could play on it. That golf course has been there way before, I think before I was born. I was about that time anyway, and I was born at 34. But they did have sections where people had their own, a community garden, like Escanada's got community gardens down there by the airport. They had community gardens out there because my husband, his parents had some out there. And they used to have to go out there and weed and water every so often, and steal watermelons from the other guys' plots. That's what he told me, they stole watermelons from other guys' plots. But where Darlene's house is, that was Mr. and Mrs. LaBombard, Cocky LaBombard lived there. Because they ran the horses that was at the barn.
Oh, barn down here.
The barn, back here. They'd run the horses out to it was called the farm. And where Darlene's house is, there was horse troughs there. That's where the horses were, on that side of the road. Cocky LaBombard and his wife managed that.
Okay.
We always called that the farm road.
Okay, so there was horse barns behind Darlene's place then?
Well, I can't remember horse barns being there, but they did bring the horses out there to graze. I remember that because I remember the horse troughs there.
Okay.
And the Bombards, that house wasn't as nice as it is now. It was like kind of a shack, I mean, Bob and Darlene fixed that house up nice. But yeah, they'd run the company horses out there, and they grazed out there because it's grown over now, Junior, and they planted trees there and everything, but it was all open.
Okay.
And they always had like 10, 15 horses here. I don't remember that, but I know there was a school back at Johnson's house there.
Okay.
There was a road. You know what Mary Johnson's house there?
Right.
She was a guap. Anyway, that house is on a corner where their son Donnie's house is. There was a road that went back there. Back in there was a schoolhouse. That's where all the Isabel kids went to school, like the Cambergs and that went to school there.
Okay, so they didn't go to name it then?
Not back then.
Oh.
No, that's old. Mm-hmm. It was just a little school.
Mm-hmm. How big was St. John?
Well,
Did it?
Most of it started right at the bridge.
Okay.
And went probably a little past the cut across road.
Okay.
But then Bursaw's, I think in this Bruce house lived up there where Patty Megan's house is, you know, where our water pump is. And she weaved baskets and everything. Is that Bruce? I think Beavers. I don't know if it's Beavers. Beavers, I think, eh?
Yeah,
But I think Sandtown only extended that far. And I remember the house was just as clear as could be, but then beyond that was the airport. You know,
okay.
that's where Rangettes and them landed their planes. And it was the sand was so hard it was like cement, it was like a nice runway.
Who ran the store?
First of all, when I remember, it was Clyde Tobin. And then when Clyde Tobin retired, Joe Sessom took it.
Now where the hotel is, from the hotel down to Bramer's, was that always all houses, or was there some businesses in between that?
No, there's no business. Oh, I take that back. You know where the fishing site is now? Yeah, there was a garage there, a gas station. Heberts used to own it. I mean, they had the pit and everything, you know, to work on vehicles and work on school buses and everything. Yeah, and that was there for a long time because Wally Burnett managed it too after a while. When he was a school bus driver, that he managed that. You could get gas back there. You could have your vehicles worked on. They worked on the school buses. That was right back. And then they had, you know how the storage sheds are now that you see? People rent storage sheds, or there's those long sections of buildings.
Yeah.
Well, they had 2 rows of those back there. People stored their cars or whatever in there.
I see.
And that was going toward the schoolhouse, then back of Mutt's house, back there. Oh, yeah, big lumber company built that. Oh, the church is over 100 years old.
Oh, the one that's down there now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't.
Big lumber company built that.
I see. I didn't know if that was the original church.
It is. Oh, yeah, that's the original church. That and the Protestant church.
I see, I see. And, what about, was there anything down that road past the church, like going towards Max?
Well, years and years ago, I mean, part of the Big Baby Knock Lumber Company, they had a mill on that road.
Oh, okay.
Before my time, I mean, you know, but it is the history. There was a mill on that road. Probably not as big as the one down here on Bay, but yeah.
Okay, but it was the same kind of mill though.
Yeah, lumber company.
Okay.
Baby Knock Lumber Company was here in 1921. That's when the town burnt. It burnt like where the hall is, and this whole street here burned.
Oh, okay.
And because I always remember Pat's mother saying she was pregnant for her second child, and she had to push the baby in the baby buggy down the ridges. These houses on the street, so I know was was built. Probably a year or so after 1921. These were the newest houses this street was, because of the fire. That
So
was
the-
1921 when the town burned.
So the house that was on this land here burned down in that fire.
Yeah, when they rebuilt.
So this house is basically built around 1921, 1922.
Right.
So,
Buddy Bennett's dad, Mr. Paul, took care of the horses there.
okay.
Yeah, that's where they had the horses.
Now, where did Bunny Bennett live in town here?
At first she lived down by the, next to the rectory, and then they moved right down here, right by the hall,
Okay.
her and Wally. There was a hall there before that.
Oh, there was.
My father was with the Boy Scouts, and up at Camp Redbrook, at Federal 13. And he was able to get these two buildings. And he slid them down, all the way down Federal 13, coming down the highway. And this is by probably 1952, 53. Let's see, it's been here, yeah, I'd say 1952. Come down Main Street and hauled them and set them up there. It connected the two buildings. The end, on that other end was for receptions or anything, and the other end facing this way was for teenagers. They had jukebox in there, and in the middle they had a refreshment stand where the two buildings connected. And because I remember going down there and polka dancing and everything, yeah. But then after a while, we were able to go down to, nope, that's the old clubhouse I'm thinking of, the old clubhouse. We had a room down there for the teenagers, the old one. That burned before they built the new one.
Right.
A CJ was a fat place to go. But then when that happened, then we went down to the hall here. Yeah,
Okay.
it was nice.
Okay.
To tell you the truth, I know they must have tore that down to build a new township hall. But my dad brought that down. He skidded it down in the middle of the winter. It was a Sunday. That was a chore. When Roosh was living there,
Okay.
I remember him calling the hall a Mickey Mouse factory because he didn't think it was constructed right.
Okay.
On the beach. It was carefree days. It was interesting. My time growing up here was good. I mean, the summertime you spend on the beach or playing in the ridges, and I thought some very good memories of Nahma growing up, and my kids do too. It was a perfect town to grow up in. There's nothing here now, but back then, the company store, you could go up there and get all your groceries. You owe your soul to the company store. That's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you did. You paid up on Friday and you charged again, and you paid up on Friday and you charged again.
Yeah. Is that?
No, she never lived here in town.
Oh, okay.
She probably donated quite a bit to the church, I don't know, but no. She was a dentist in Escanaba. She had a cabin up on Federal 13, and she'd come here for Mass all the time if they were up to the cabin. And then she came to the school here periodically to do dental work on kids, free at that time. And then when she did, she lived with Pat's mother, dad, Mr. and Mrs. Bolsa.
Okay.
Because they lived right across from the school.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So she used to stay with them. Yeah, that's who that is. That's Sullivan. No, a lot of people like to drink that water.
Okay.
It's a natural flowing well.
Okay.
No, I don't ever remember having to haul water from the unless my neighbor wanted my kids to go up there and get water for her, but to drink. But no.
I was under the impression that's what that was for back in the day, is to basically haul water around town.
Not that I know of. The only thing they hauled around town was ice for ice boxes.
I see.
Yeah, and Pat's brother Glenn did that in the summertime. The lumber company would cut ice in the winter, and down by where the fishing site is now, it was like a little island off by itself that's grown over now, but they would bury their ice into that with the sawdust and whatnot.
Okay.
And then in the summertime they furnished ice, because you didn't have refrigerators like that. No, you had ice boxes.
Right.
So he'd come with these big tongs and their big hunk of ice, The what?
Ladder racks?
Oh, yes, there was one right out here.
For the fire ladders?
They were green and orange. Yeah, there was one right out here, right across from Rush's house there, yeah. It was a long section with a little green roof, and then the ladders hung on each side of it.
Okay. And then when were those put in?
Oh, God, I have no idea when those were put in. That was probably put in by the American Playground Company too, because,
Okay,
you know, when the American Playground Company took over, Nahma was in bad shape. And they cleaned up the town. They made everybody put bathrooms in right away, because there was still a lot of outdoor toilets. Nahma was infested by rats. When they tore the boarding house down, Pat come home from work one day, he said, you know, those rats didn't have no place to go. They were sitting on the Civic Center steps. There was so many, but, and everybody had to get garbage cans. Because you know what they did? Just like back here. They threw their garbage over the back fence. And back to the double houses. There was 5 double houses. There was an alley that ran back there. That was just a pile of garbage. So when the American Playground took over, they cleaned up the town. Everybody had to have inside toilets, and everybody had to have garbage cans. Yeah, there was ridges. We played in the ridges. There was paths that went through there to connect that with the farm road. And we'd take those ridges to go to the beach. You could ride bikes through there or anything, yeah. There was 3 ridges there that we chose whatever one we wanted to go on, you know, to connect with the farm road, the Isabella Road. But there was no houses there. The double house was the last one, and my mom's house was the last one on this side.
Okay, you said American Playground closed in 1990?
Yeah, they didn't rehire their employees back in 1990. Actually, November of 1989 was their last working days. And when it come to May of 1990, my husband thought they'd be going back to work until Boop Ritter come over one day and said, no, Pat, they're not opening up the plant this year. They're done. But American Playground hired me, Boop said, and his brother Ace to work at the golf course. It was just those 2 guys that was going to be hired back with American Playground. They were going to mow the golf course, keep it up. But, so that was May of 1990.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other since we were 9 or 10. Together we've climbed hills and trees, learned of love and ABC, and skinned our hearts and skinned our knees. Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me and I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time. Goodbye, Papa, please pray for me. I was the black sheep of the family. You tried to teach me right from wrong. Too much wine and too much song, wonder how I got along. Goodbye, Papa, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, little children everywhere. When you see them, I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the wine and the song, like the seasons, have all gone. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the wine and the song, like the seasons, have all gone. Goodbye, Michelle, my little one. gave me love and helped me find the sun. And every time that I was down, you would always come around and get my feet back on the ground. Goodbye, Michelle, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky. Now that the spring is in the air, with the flowers everywhere, I wish that we could both be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the stars we could reach were just starfish on the beach. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the stars we could reach were just starfish on the beach. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the wine and the song, like the seasons, have all gone. All our lives we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the hills that we climbed were just seasons out of time. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. Get aboard the Silverbird, departing gate 19. Satisfy your Walter Mitty mind, trying out a dream. Your sign is Capricorn in every corner of your mind. Says you'll remain my friend until you're mine. Silverbird, fly my lady away. Silverbird, take her over the bay. Silverbird, give my lady a ride, and we'll go see what's on the other side. Silverbird, fly my lady away. Pretty bird, today is a day. Lone rangers and strangers will knock at her door, but I know my baby's no baby no more. Silverbird, fly my lady away. Pretty bird, today is a day. When you come home, my crazy heart will greet those silver wings. Your pet dog will remember you, and I'll carry your things. We'll catch your running makeup, and you will look just fine. And you remain my friend until you're mine. Silverbird, fly my lady away. Silverbird, take her over the bay. Silverbird, give my lady a ride, and we'll go see what's on the other side. Silverbird, fly my lady away. Silverbird, today is a day. Silverbird, give my lady a ride, and we'll go see what's on the other side. Never been this blue. I never knew the meaning of a heartache. But then again, I never lost at love before. Somewhere down the maybe all those years will find some meaning. I just can't think about them now or live them out anymore. Stand tall, don't you fall. For God's sake, don't go and do something foolish. All you're feeling right now is silly human pride. Oh, stand tall, don't you fall. Don't do something you might regret later. You're feeling it like everyone. It's silly human pride. Never lasted so long, no. Or through so much, or through so many. I just can't believe I could throw it all away. Sometimes late at night, when there's nothing here except my old piano, I'd almost give my hands to make you see my way. Stand tall, don't you fall. For God's sake, don't go do something foolish. All you're feeling right now is silly human pride. You got me down on my knees for your mama. Stand tall, don't you fall. Don't do something you regret later. Or feeling it like everyone. It's silly human pride. You got me falling again for your mama. Stand All your life you've waited for love to come and stay. And now that I have found you, you must now slip away. I know it's hard believing the words you've heard before, but darling, you must trust them just once more. 'Cause baby, goodbye doesn't mean forever. Let me tell you, goodbye doesn't mean we'll never be together again. If you wake up and I'm not there, I won't be long away. 'Cause the things you do, my goodbye girl, will bring me back to you. I know you've been taken, afraid to hurt again. You fight the love you feel for me instead of giving in. But I can wait forever, helping you to see that I was meant for you and you for me. So remember, goodbye doesn't mean forever. Let me tell you, goodbye doesn't mean we'll never be together again. my goodbye, girl, 'cause now you're home at last. When we were at school, our games were simple. I played a janitor, you played a monitor. Then you played with older boys and prefects. What's the attraction in what they're doing? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? You're always something special to me, quite independent, never caring. You lost your charm as you were aging. Where is your magic disappearing? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? You're so like a woman to me. So like a woman to me. Like a woman to me. Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? People live and learn, but you're still learning. You use my mind and I'll be your teacher. When the lesson's over, you'll be with me. Then I'll hear the other people saying, hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? Hey, Carrie Ann, what's your game? Now can anybody play? Carrie And when I see the sign that points one way, the love we used to pass by every day. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same. You're not to blame. From deep inside the tears that I forced to cry. From deep inside the pain I chose to hide. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you
upon a wall. Still bound away to haunt me. Oh, they're so small. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you right long. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same. You're not to You really should accept this time he's gone for good. He'll never come back now, even though he said he would. So darling, dry your eyes. So many other guys would give the world, I'm sure, to wear the shoes he wore. Oh, come on, smile a little smile for me, Rosemary. Where's the use in crying? In a little while you'll see, Rosemary, you must keep on trying. I know that he hurt you bad. I know, darling, don't be sad, and smile a little smile for me, Rosemary, Rosemary. I guess you're lonely now, love's coming to an end. But darling, only now are you free to start again. Lift up your pretty chin, don't let those tears begin. You're a big girl now, and you'll pull through somehow. Oh, come on, smile a little smile for me, Rosemary. Where's the use in crying? In a little while you'll see, Rosemary, you must keep on trying. I know that he hurt you bad. I know, darling, don't be sad, and smile a little smile for me, Rosemary, Rosemary. Smile a little smile for me, Rosemary, Rosemary.
preacher's son. And when his daddy would visit, he'd come along. When they gathered around and started talking, Cousin Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Being good isn't always easy, no matter how hard I try. When he started sweet talking to me, he'd come and tell me everything is alright. He'd kiss and tell me everything's alright. Can I get away again tonight? The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Lord knows he was. Yes, he was. How well I remember the look was in his eyes, stealing kisses from me on the slide, taking time to make time, telling me that he's all mine, learning from each other's knowing, looking to see how much we've grown. And the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Oh, yes, he was. The only one who could ever reach me was the sweet talking son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me. I guess he was the son of a preacher. The only one who could ever move me sweet was the son of a preacher. The only one who could ever move me was the son of a preacher man. The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Here, just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children cry, put a little love in your heart. If we want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. All the world will be a better place for you and me. Here, just wait and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Here, just wait and see. People now, put a little love in your heart each and every day. Put a little love in your heart. There's no other way. Put a little love in your heart. Get out to put a little
Well, here we are, Nahma. Oh, yeah. Well, here we are, Nahma. We got you to stand. It's the best in the land, so we know you will take Nahma. So take that ball, Nahma. We're backing you all behind. Heart is a great protector on the waters for we expect a victory from you, Nahma. We're loyal to you, Nahma. We're regularly right, Nahma. So much no love explore, and you lead them so far they will want to play us anymore. So sing that moment behind. We're backing you all behind. Heart is a great protector on the life, for we expect a victory from you, Nahma.
Was taken afterward. I was asked to announce that the judges had a very, very tough time. These are 8 very pretty girls, very smart girls, very nice girls. Girls that I would be glad to call my daughter, and I think they need a nice hand. Huh? As I said, the judging was very tough. The people were from outside the area. The girls were taken to Tylene's last night, where the judging took place. There were 4 so-called winners. They're all winners. The 4 so-called winners were Miss Congeniality. There will also be a second runner-up, first runner-up, and of course the Queen. The Miss Congeniality Award goes to Dawn Grolom. Second runner-up is Heather Chambers. First runner-up, Amber French. Nice job, girls. This year's queen is Amy Grolom. Once again, could you give them all a real nice hand? Very nice. feature my dad on an old Furlan Husky tune, one called The Wings of a Dove.
Everybody can join in on this thing. When Noah had drifted on the flood many days, he searched for a land in the various ways. Troubles he had some, but he wasn't forgotten. God sent down his love on the wings of a dove.
On the wings of a snow-white dove, God sent his pure, sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove.
When troubles surround you and evil may come, the body grows weak and the spirit grows numb. When these things beset you, God will not forget you. He'll send down his love on the wings of the dove. Everybody sing. On the wings of the
snow-white dove, God sent his pure, sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove.
When Jesus went down to the water that day, he was baptized in the usual way. When it was done, God blessed his son. He sent down his love on the wings of a dove. One more time.
On the wings of a snow-white dove, God sent his pure, sweet love, a sign from above. On the wings of a dove.
Just a sign from above.
On the wings of a dove.
Everywhere, man, I've been everywhere, man. Cross the desert bare, man, I'm breathing out there, man. Rebel, I had my share, man. I've been everywhere. From Austin, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Austin, Houston, Kate, the Texas, Canada, Monterey, Federal, San Diego, Brooklyn, Rockland, Rockland, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and it's Chicory, Spirit Lake, Devil Lake, Better Lake, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the desert bare, man. I'm breathing out here, man. Rebel, I had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Louisville, Nashville, Knoxville, Big Sheffield, Texas, Water, Cold Spring, Pittsfield, Big Fish, and the Hand, Second, Lake,
Yes. We're going to have Hank's little girl, Sherry Murchkowski, out here to sing a couple songs.
My brat.
Hi. How y'all
That me?
doing?
I know.
Good, good. Well, I'm going to do a song for you by Kathy Mattea, and it's called Come From the Heart. Hit it, Dad. When I was a young girl, my daddy told me the lesson he learned. It was a long time ago, and if you want to have someone to hold on to, well, you're gonna have to learn to let go, and you got to pay like you don't need the money, love, like you'll never get hurt, and you got to dance like nobody's watching. Gotta come from the heart if you want it to work. Now here is the one thing I keep forgetting. When everything is falling apart in love as in love, I know I need to remember, well, there's such a thing as trying too hard, and you got to think like you don't need nobody, love, like you'll never get hurt, and you got to dance like nobody's watching. Gotta come from the heart if you want it to work. Well, you got to sing sometimes like you don't need the money, love sometimes like you'll never get hurt, and you got to dance like nobody's watching. Gotta come from the heart if you want it to work. Gotta come from the heart if you want it to work. Yeah. Thank you.
Sherry and Hank.
We're going to speed it up a little bit. You've probably heard me sing this song a million times, but I'm going to do it again tonight. It's called I've Been Everywhere.
I love this one. She sings the best.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the desert, fair, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I have my share, man. I've been everywhere. Pasadena, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Saratoga, Wichita, Tulsa, Idaho, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Manitoba, one of a Bangor, Baltimore, Sandra, Amarillo, Tropical, Bingo, Land, Carolina. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. share, man, out there everywhere. And arenas about Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, around the Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Towns, Idaho, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Metamora, Bonnie, Bango, both of us after Amarillo, Tubby, Miller, Bengal, Lambda, Lima, Miller, out everywhere, man, out everywhere, man. Cross the desert, spare, man, I breathe the mountain air, man. Hell, I had my share, man. I know someplace you haven't been. I've been everywhere. Baby's good to me, you know he's happy as can be, you know he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. Baby says he's mine, you know he tells me all the time, you know he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. I'm so glad that I'm his little girl. He's so glad he's telling all the world. Yeah, my baby finds me things, you know, he buys me diamond rings, you know, he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. Let's give the trade winds a big hand. Baby says he's mine, you know, he tells me all the time, you know, he says so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. I'm so glad I'm his little girl. He's so glad he's telling all the world. And my baby finds me things, you know, he buys me diamond rings, you know, he says so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. Yes, I'm in love with him and I feel fine. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. I know you loved him a long time ago. Even now in my arms, you still want him, I know. Darling, it's time your memories die. So when you love me tonight, don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Let it be me. Don't pretend it's him in some fantasy. Darling, just once, let yesterday go. You'll find more love than you've ever known. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Maybe I've been a fool, holding on all this time, lying here in your arms, knowing he's in your mind. I keep hoping someday
let yesterday go. You'll find more love than you ever known. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. And don't close your eyes. Oh, says she's gonna do a song right now that I first heard by Gail Davies. She kind of likes to do the KT Oslin version of this song. Would you give a nice hand to Marla as she sings "Round the Clock Lovin'" goes like this.